Historic flash floods hit another community, this time in New Mexico.
Didn't look like it was going to be this massive, but it was. It hit hard, it hit fast. We did breach all of our bridges. We did lose some more homes. We have some folks that are missing. We're looking for them right now.
A look at what triggered the devastating floods and the challenges the crews are facing in their search and rescue efforts.
Officials in Los Angeles now gearing up to wage a legal battle against the Trump administration. Hear what the city's attorney is saying about the legality of recent immigration raids.
And frustration now mounting for the Trump administration following Russian President Vladimir Putin's reluctance for a ceasefire with Ukraine. What the president is now saying about implementing new sanctions on the Kremlin.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, great day.
And we begin this hour with a live look at the High Sierra in Yosemite National Park. A nice little view in the background there. That sun kind of illuminating in the background. Nice little shot for your Wednesday morning on this July 9th. Good morning. I'm Carl Cook.
That is a beautiful silhouette there. I'm Liz Gonzalez. Kim Stevens is off today.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, let's just go now. Let's just go.
Field trip.
I know, field trip to Yosemite.
Great day hits the road. Great day hits the High Sierra.
That'd be a great live shot, just going live from the High Sierra. That'd be a nice little newscast.
There's a hint for our producers right there. Let's do it. We could just put that shot up all morning, too. Weather-wise, we're looking at some similar conditions to yesterday, but closer to that heat wave that's really going to start tomorrow. So brace yourselves. It's coming. Here's how today's looking, though. It's going to be a lot like yesterday. The sun's going to peek out every now and again. You might want to get some shade out there. But right now, currently, well, it's 66 out there. Winds are out of the northwest at 7 miles an hour. Dew points at 52. Rest of the day, check it out. Plenty of sunshine out there, heating up. 77 at 10, 85 at noon. 5 o'clock, we're at 97 degrees. Wind speeds, that's going to be another story for you today. They'll pick up to about 13 miles an hour for you by 5 o'clock this afternoon. And your next weather maker, all right, here it comes. It's going to hit us tomorrow there with an intense heat wave that's going to last for a few days. I'll explain coming up.
New this morning, 3 people are dead following record-breaking flash flooding in New Mexico. Officials say a man and 2 children were killed as they were swept downstream by floodwaters in the village of Ruidoso, which is about 90 miles north of Albuquerque. Heavy monsoon rains triggered the Rio Ruidoso to rise 20 feet in half an hour. Flooding so intense it swept away an entire house. Emergency crews rescued more than 50 others. The National Weather Service warns that recovery operations could be challenging as temperatures are set to reach above 100 degrees through the rest of the week. This comes as search and recovery efforts continue this morning in central Texas following deadly flooding over the weekend. Officials are now saying more than 160 people are still missing. That number grew roughly 3 times more than previous reports. That was after a hotline was set up. Crews are searching by helicopter, airboat, horseback, along with hundreds of volunteers on the ground. It is one of the biggest search operations in the state's history. Over 100 people were killed. State officials are facing intense questions over the handling of weather alerts.
Dive into it and figure out what occurred. If there's a way that government can be helpful, whether that's federal, state, or local, we should absolutely look into it. The fact that we lost over 100 American lives and over 100 are still missing, something has to be done.
He acknowledges Texas can quickly go from drought to flash floods, but calls this disaster unexpected. Gonzalez also says he wants to find out ways to prevent future flooding at the scale. Now, since flash floods can happen all over the country, the congressman considers this a federal issue. Meantime, the head of the Department of Homeland Security vows ongoing support for the state of Texas as those recovery efforts continue.
We still are looking for people. We're still looking for a lot of little girls and other family members that were camping along that river, and they will continue until they find every single person, and we will continue to help them and assist in that.
Noam has praised the federal government's response to the floods, which has included a surge of Coast Guard members to help search and rescue efforts. She also praised FEMA, which has also surged resources to the region. President Trump says he is heading to Texas Friday to take a look at the damage, though he says he wants to stay out of the way of first responders. And we're hearing from some of the survivors of the deadly Texas floods. Erin Burgess lives in Hunt, Texas. She tells CNN she was woken up by thunder around 4:30 Friday morning. Soon after, she heard water rushing into her bedroom.
When it burst through my back door, it was waist deep within seconds. By the time I got out the back door, since it was broken, it was up to my neck in my backyard. And it was my son's height that held me up.
Burgess says that she and her son tried to get to higher ground. They began floating and were able to grab onto a tree. She says her boyfriend and dog were pushed in another direction and floated for nearly a mile. Burgess and her son were reunited with them more than an hour later. Meanwhile, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, has decided to put a pause on foreclosures on FHA single-family mortgages in Kerr County, Texas, where this flooding happened. It is the hardest hit region. Now, the president has declared the flood zone to be a major disaster area. HUD says there are over 900 FHA insured mortgages in that disaster area. And new before and after satellite images of Kerr County show just how destructive those deadly flash floods were. Climatologists theorize that the flooding was likely caused by warm, moist air left over from Tropical Storm Barry and Hurricane Flossie, which caused flooding in southeastern Mexico just a week before the deadly flash floods ravaged central Texas. Experts say a warming atmosphere and ocean due to the burning of fossil fuels are making catastrophic weather events more likely. The people affected by the catastrophic floods in central Texas need our help now. Sinclair and the Salvation Army are joining forces for Sinclair Cares Texas Tragedy Relief. The Salvation Army is providing hot meals, hydration, hygiene supplies, shelter, and other support to survivors and first responders. Monetary donations are needed, so greatly appreciated. 100% of your donation goes directly to Texas flood relief efforts. To get started, you can scan the QR code that is right there on your screen or go to sinclaircares.com. We thank you so much for your support and your generosity.
All right, it's 5:06. Here we go with your forecast here. And yeah, we got some high pressure picking up here for us. We had some low pressure off the coast there. That's moving northward now. High pressure. That's going to start to settle in and get us pretty well above normal here for the next few days, starting tomorrow, that is. Intense triple-digit heat on the way. All right, so wind speeds are going to be another story for us today. They're going to peak for us about 20 miles an hour up in Madera, maybe about 15 miles an hour in other places there, and then about 10 miles an hour down some parts of the South Valley. Not as much in the Sierra Nevada mountains there, but they will pick up probably just for a few hours for some places, some of us lasting well into the evening there. Relative humidity, we're at 42% today, getting down to about 16%. At its lowest, dew point is at 52. And we have some alerts for you today. It's for anybody heading south, really. You got this air quality alert still in effect until tomorrow night there. Parts of Southern California, LA, Orange County is going to be impacted by that. You've got some elevated smog levels down there. Also got a heat advisory in effect until tomorrow night. That's a little further south there down towards San Diego County. And temperatures there getting close to 100 degrees and an extreme heat warning in effect until tomorrow night as well. Of course, that's for the desert regions there. So a lot of us are going to see some really hot weather here the next few days. That includes us. Today we're at 99. That's maybe just a couple degrees above normal. However, tomorrow, yeah, things begin. Look at this, 102 tomorrow, up to 105 for us now on Friday. 60s and 70s overnight. Wind speeds today, 5 to 15 miles an hour, and then maybe just calming down after that the rest of the week. But plenty of sunshine and plenty of heat. Up next, we're going to get a look at your highs and lows across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley.
Time is now 5:08. Should the U.S. limit who or what countries invest in farmland here? Cabinet members and some lawmakers think so. Why they're calling this a matter of national security and what's being done about it.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.